The WEENY Dynasty is available in the Los Santos car meet for $225,000. So I thought I'd let you guys know my thoughts on this vehicle. So moving straight into the customization, we'll take a look at some options, and if I like them, I'll put them on a vehicle. So as you can see, tons of options for the front bumper and matching options for the rear bumper. So you can actually make the car look very uniform from front to back. Now what I do like about this car, it has bumper extensions, which is basically an extension onto the body, not the front metal piece. So now we're going to go into exhaust. Not too bad of options here, but I do recommend just getting the $1,800 option. No bombs here, and then we're going to move on. Deflectors. Not bad, but I do not like stuff that oppose my view. So just in case if we're going first person, I don't want having less room to see out of. So let's see, hood. Not bad. The vents, Racer Mark 1, Racer Mark 2, cool air. Not a fan of any of them, but I definitely see how they could make your car stand out. Nice liveries here. This looks nice. It's a nice aesthetic here. This one is definitely my favorite. Yep. So this was one I got with the vehicle. I don't really like that one. This one isn't too bad, but I wish you could customize the liveries a little bit. So we're just going to keep the one that we bought the car with, seeing that I already paid for it with the initial price. So we're going to do mirrors here. Pretty much generic. All of the older fashioned vehicles tend to have the same mirrors on them. The plate, let's see, we're going to put our model plate here. And for the paint schemes, we're going to do... Okay, so the secondary color customizes the roof, and then the primary color customizes the rest. And the secondary color actually controls the interior color. So that's kind of strange. So seeing that we have the livery, I think it's just the best opportunity to just make this thing black. Can't go wrong with that. So roof rack. Oh, you can actually put the taxi ad carrier on this thing, which is quite unique. I'm not sure if you can make this a usable taxi with taxi missions. Not quite sure. Race suspension. Not gonna go solo. Let's do something more modest. Tuning. None of the visors are my style. As I said, I don't want to block my view. Okay, so let's move on to the driving portion and see how this thing drives. Now, of course, I've driven this vehicle more off camera, and it's definitely not the fastest. The highest I've ever gotten this thing up to was like 80 miles per hour, which is seeming to be a trend with these older vehicles, like these antique style vehicles. They just don't go that fast. And look how that vehicle shifted itself when I hit the bump. This is a telltale sign that this is not one of the vehicles you do want to use for a race. Now, this thing is in the sports classics class, and with vehicles like the Turismo Classic and the Sterling GT, you definitely don't want to be toying around with this thing. So definitely not a vehicle that I would use in a racing scenario, but for a car meet, or maybe you're just feeling to not go as fast, I definitely choose this vehicle. Now the vehicle does have that horrible problem that I was saying about the bumps. It's just not going over the bumps as well. Oh, that's crash. See what I'm saying? having bad bump control or the suspension is, maybe I should have not touched the suspension, because with competition suspension that probably would most likely be worse. So I'm not quite sure. But nonetheless, not a bad car. The car doesn't handle the worst, but it doesn't handle the best. I must say, there's definitely more cars that are worse than this in the Sports Classics section. And it has a nice sound to it. This is definitely a muscle car sound. So I don't understand how does a car like this have a muscle sound. They should have given it a little bit more refined sound to it, but this will do. Still trying to take bumps. Not giving up, right? Not bad on these steep turns here. You do have to do a little braking. All right. Now let's get the hood open. As you can see, inline 6. So I don't understand how I was expecting a big V8. You know, the typical V8 that you would see, but nonetheless, it's still good. Nice texture on the trunk. Rockstar definitely put a good thought into the interior here. Definitely reused, but they could have done a lot worse, so you have to appreciate it. So for this car, I would say yes, go ahead and buy it for the $225,000, because honestly, well, you can't buy anything else with that. $225,000 is pretty much everyday spending money in GT Online. So definitely, if you haven't had this vehicle, definitely I would say to go ahead and purchase it, because you may never know. Maybe that's a car event, or maybe a certain theme that you might be going for, and this could complete it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the WEENY Dynasty down below. Thank you guys so much.